is good YouTube croissant Ivor reactions, and right now, right, for fuck's sake, sorry, I was playing a game during the half-time analysis and that, so something to pass the time. Yes, back off that, good, happy days. Right, what we got now, we got part 3, the first part of the second half of the autumn international rugby test matches between Australia, Scotland. Now Scotland are playing fan-fucking-tastic. Boys, keep it up, because I would love to see Scotland get a nice victory over one of the big Southern Hemisphere sides. You guys need it. You guys deserve it. So we're going to get started now with the second half coverage. Let's do this.
John. So Foley is ready to start the second half. No changes to either side at half time, so we have just the original changes made in the first half, which are Rob Simmons on the second row for Adam Coleman for Australia, and Ryan Wilson was off in the back row. John Hardy came on for Scotland. Australia again with that ball from the start, so an early chance for Henry Spate. And restarts, still an area of some concern for Scotland. And Australia have the penalty. Not rolling away.
Scotland are at fault for the restart in the first half. You couldn't fault really Scotland there. An incredible piece of skill by Folau to win back the shot kick by Foley, and then as the ball's recycled, I think it was Hardy that was penalised, and it's the first opportunity for points in the second half to the Australians.
Great start for Australia. Win the restart back and then get the first opportunity to put points on the board in the second half. This will be a real mental boost for them going forward, to be able to put points, get within one score, and to be able to take the lead. And I think it could be an important kick for Bernard Foley coming up.
So Adam Coleman on the sidelines with crutches by his side, so not good going forward for Coleman, and the changes have to be made in the second row for Australia, because they were starting to build a partnership, Roddy Arnold and Adam Coleman, and Checker watching on as Bernard Foley prepares to try and find the first points of the second half.
Another cup of coffee, as you do. I might have a can now after I finish this.
Ideal conditions for a kicker, hardly a breath of wind. He's kicking well today, 3 from 3, and whittling away at the lead of Scotland at the start of the second half. It's a 4-point game with just 2 minutes played after the break.
Another really nice strike, wasn't by Foley. Difficult just after half time. Remember, you've been sitting in the junior meet, tightening up and cooling down for the last 15 minutes or so, and he comes out and does that. And Australia were kicking at 64% over the last 12 months. And
yeah, I'm uploading the first 2 parts as I'm doing this part of the reaction.
So Russell with the restart for Scotland, but taken very well by.
It's going to take a while though for that upload.
Carried in by his new second row partner, Rob Simmons.
Welsh game will probably be on by the time the Scotland game is all uploaded. So
sends it low, straight to the chest of.
Come on, Scotland.
Punch again, and out it goes into the east stand, and Scotland's ball.
I wonder if that was a sign of a change, a slight change.
He said in the half-time analysis it looks like Scotland has been inspired by Ireland's victory over New Zealand.
Stuart was looking for territory, looking for.
It's a shame Wales weren't inspired by
Australia,
it.
But Rogers up to it with a good playing skill.
I think we played
against a
same
side
time
of
as
the quality of Australia. You can't in any way sit in a lead and hope the game is going to.
The way Scotland have been playing in the first half,
score more and more, because Australia,
it's been absolutely fantastic to see them play like that.
By Johnny Gray.
It's like the Scotland of old.
Popak being told to get out of there by Lacey. He was at 9. So Laidlaw does. And Richie Gray hits the ground. See the Hardy and the strength of the man. A risky offload. Maitland had to do well there. And Ferguson lays it back. And Barkley. Johnny Gray.
Here we go, get out
And
the
Watson. And Australia trying to hold it. The open side flanker, but he gets down. And Russell Little step, and Russell's almost away, looking for support runners now. Still just about going himself, flings it out. And Laidlaw gives it on. It's carried on by Dell. And there is Barkley, and Scotland suddenly have a bit of pace. Then it slows for a moment, and Gray gives it on to Ferguson. And he tumbles to earth, and still with Scotland. Russell gives it deeper this time. Hugh Jones, little grubber kick through, and chasing it is Hardy, and it bounces for him, but Hardy is then shunted into touch by Will Genya.
That was a nasty bounce, I was saying.
Slowly, and then
But Hugh Jones once again creating a bit of space now for Scotland.
Isn't it? You know, that they were taking the direct route, and then
He
once
is
the
in a
sense of
class
space
of his
allowed
own
to
today.
get to the danger man so far, and Jones, and he dropped it onto the toe. Well covered in the end. Again, he is covering the backfield on his own. Falau seems to be quite up flat in the outside channels, so there's a lot of ground for the 90 cover, but he did it well there.
Scotland almost down 40 men there. Dell was on his hamstring stretch patch, just a bit of cramp in his hockey, and Hardy, the bounce of the ball favours the flanker, and Johnny Gray gives it on to Ross Ford.
Come on, Scotland!
And Ford trying to get it back, but good work again by the Wallabies. And it's coming back their way. No, says John Lacey. Scrum to Scotland.
Too many bodies on the floor. That came from a bit of inaccuracy at the line out. You saw that your exit lineouts are so critical nowadays to relieve pressure, and we just see a little bit of a mix up here with the delivery. Didn't get it to Will Genya, and Scotland pounced on it. So this is a great opportunity for Scotland here with the scrum, 10 metres out right in front.
Well, it's a great position. They have a big blind side there as well. You see Jonathan Humphreys, who knows a bit about scrummaging. And that Scotland have to show more here in this scrum than they did in the first half.
I'd be really surprised if Foley doesn't shift over to the left-hand side of the scrum in defence here, because there's Stuart Hogg and Sean Maitland on the right. I think, look, there's a communicator trying to figure out who goes where. He must respect that short side. Koulibaly's now going over. That's too big a space to leave.
This is almost a dream attacking position, almost 3/5, 2/3 of the pitch. The scrum is over. It's not quite central. It just creates that large blind side there. And what does Scotland have planned? It has to be a good scrum first of all. It's pretty solid. Scotland's beginning to slip a bit though now, and they really have to move that ball, so Laidlaw does just that. Scotland then from the back foot, and Hogg almost through himself, and Hogg up to within 3 metres of the line. The acceleration he has, and now Scotland come through the forwards, and the Gray brothers to the line, and Johnny Gray has it down. The referee looking, Scotland celebrating, and the TMO will look at it.
Oh, it looked like a try for Scotland then.
But you do well to stop the Gray brothers.
That's the second question. Okay. Yeah.
And that's the sort of positive question. Any reason not to award the try? So you have to
Was it the TMO?
prove damage.
Simon, good question, please. Is there any reason why you can't award this try, please?
Thanks, John.
So in other words, you're not looking for reason to see it as a try, you have to see it as a reason why you can't award it. Again, that is always the benefit to the attacking side there.
Well, that's pretty conclusive there. I think he's made like Ian Davis did say, that the assistant referee on the far side said he'd seen the ball being grounded. James, do you agree?
Yeah, it's grounded.
This will be a pretty quick decision here, unless he's lost it there. But I think, yeah, you can see the
he's there.
there.
He's
That's
there.
a try. Great work try for Scotland. Position.
Bravo, lads, you're showing true class by you.
Simon McDowell says just that, the TMO, and Scotland, well, Australia had the first points of the second half. Scotland had the first try, and they moved beyond 20 points.
And the platform was the scrum, wasn't it? Scotland just held long enough. Allendale, Ross Forbes and the Ferguson setting the platform. I think Laidlaw opted to go right, and Stuart Hogg was just seething pace up to the 2 or 3 yards of the line, and Johnny Gray, a nice angle, a good hard ball carry. He managed to reach the line, and another try for Scotland.
So from the celebration and the noise to the more hushed tones for Greg Laidlaw's conversion attempt. Coming round well. Glancing ball off the post, but enough to send it back. So just the 5 points.
9 point difference now, 22 points to Scotland, 13 to Australia.
It's so quick, it's so difficult, so much space for Kieran Brennan to come.
Australia, you're playing better than you did against Wales, but you're just getting outclassed. Scotland are playing fantastic.
So much desire to reach a line, it's very hard to stop.
So how will Australia respond against the little dink to restart? And again, it works so well for Australia. So they're on the front foot once more through Moore. And then Lopeti Tamani. Forward move! And Hooper and Dunbar trying to hold him up. But he gets down. Dean Mumm is on for Australia. On for Rory Arnold. And there is Rob Simmons, so a new second row partnership. And Kepu carries, and then Genya. And then the tackles fly up, but through comes Hodge once again, just about getting the offer away, but takes it down. Genya with a little fumble, but finds as the referee, and Tamani. And Australia stung into action here. In Scotland, their attack has been so good. The defence has to be just as strong. Foley. And Hooper took it. Flat enough, says the referee. A little sly pass into Folau. Australia just beginning to look a little bit ponderous. And there's Pocock.
They're just probing the defence at the moment.
Moore gives it on to Kepu.
They're trying to
And
set
then the
something
quicker
up.
ball. Foley, and it just went beyond Hooper and couldn't quite take it, Reece Hodge. So again, the spill at the end from Australia, but a reward for the defence of Scotland through those phases, a dozen or so.
Yeah, there was
Australia
some great
really need to
continuity
sort
there for Australia.
that
I think they held on to the ball more than they probably have
You could
for
have
most
had
of the game, but then just the little miss pass, just the timing was off again.
for fucking tries against Wales.
Reece
If
Hodge
it
was sort
weren't
of
for
hold there,
these
but
little errors.
his timing was a little bit off.
And you
between
probably
his
would have got
frames,
one
and,
there.
yeah, once again, good defence from the Scottish.
Yeah, Hodge had already made a clean break, and
Scotland,
phase of play just slightly earlier.
Scotland are fucking outclassed me, but they're not making many errors.
A wonderful day.
Here we go, handling errors. Australia,
For me, the Scottish defence got organised.
9 errors.
There was venom and there was
Sort it out,
physicality in each
boys.
tackle, but they were organised and back on their feet quickly.
Scotland, 3 errors, you're playing great,
Coach Matt
boys.
Taylor is a great, he used to coach with the Reds. He's a fantastic coach, and he would have had them very organised.
Let's relive the tries from the match. Hugh Jones first of all, then Hodge with a beautiful move from Australia. And second from Hugh Jones and his quick feet.
There's Johnny Gray. That's a beautiful contrast to rugby, isn't it? The sublime skill, the fast foot of Hugh Jones gaining you 5 points, and then the sheer power and determination of Johnny Gray picking up 5 as well.
Now a chance for the Wallabies to put the pressure on the Scotland scrum here. Scotland will look to get this away sharply, because already Scotland standing a little bit firmer there, and perhaps even getting moved forward. So Russell, he delayed his kick, and eventually it comes now to Henry Spate. Hogg and Maitland trying to heave him towards touch. But another opportunity now for Australia, and Tamani. Scott Seal. And Australia making good ground again. Kuridrani finds support now, and Dane Hilapeti with a step infield. He finds support from Folau. The Hail Mary pass, but Ross Ford is there for Scotland. It was hopeful from Folau, and just a little chip clearance, and Scotland will still be under pressure here. Australia's line out, but it could have been worse, could have been better for Australia.
Some sublime pieces of skill in there. Koulibaly's hands, he healed Petty, and then you can see what Folau's thinking. They're trying to keep the ball alive. I must say, Finn Russell getting back and making that tackle was outstanding.
He throws it over the head of three Australians here.
You can see why he wants to keep the tempo, why he wants to keep the ball alive. It was like Alan Dale's first cap. He's done really well on the loose, hasn't he? He's carried hard, he's been effective over ball, and the scrum work was certainly improving.
So Gordon Reid is on at loosehead for Dell. And this is where the squad depth does get tested, and carrying it forward now, David Pocock. I said it's a 23-man game, and Hooper, and there is Reid meeting him, and Pocock, and Australia still threatening. Tamani, Genya, well taken by Johnny Gray. Good pickup by Tavita Kuridrani. And Scotland's defence is having to reset itself so quickly. There is Dean Munn on in the second row, makes some good ground.
No, contest is good.
Foley, little pop in field to Hodge.
No.
Still there for the Wallabies. Foley again to Hooper. Hooper over the top of Finn Russell. Carried in by Rob Simmons this time. Still there for Australia.
Watch out, mate.
And a scrum to Scotland again. That defence working so hard, and the man taking most of the plaudits there, Hamish Watson.
Yeah, we've spoken about how sparkling Scotland have been in attack, but the last 10 minutes or 5 or 6 minutes certainly all about defence, and it's the ability to get back on your feet and make a tackle. Scotland are only committing 1 or 2 to the tackle. The rest are on their feet coming forward.
Australia, you need to watch out. You can't go grabbing somebody and like that, just yanking them back.
They're disciplined to only send a tackler plus 1 player to the breakdown, and then fanning out. So making sure, as you said, they've got numbers on their feet and ability to get off the line aggressively, which you see they're doing. They're putting Foley and Genia under a lot of pressure, which is not giving them the time and space that they've had previously.
And this is rugby. From having made all those phases of tackles, working so hard, you have to get down, pat down in a scrum and shove your heart out. So Laidlaw, again, I think we have totally abandoned straight put-ins to scrums. Penalty to Australia, and there is the edge they have.
I think that's on the loose head side for Australia. Scott Seo again, I think, put a lot of pressure through
Australia
the
have got no choice, they're going to have to go for the corner.
With a penalty, and they're going to take
go
the
for the
shot.
post. Alright.
Do you think they consider, well, as a skipper, James, did they consider the scrum there as well, do you think?
I think probably not at this stage. I think you know, right in front, it's almost a gift, 3 points. I don't want to put the mocker on Bernard Foley, but the way he's kicking today, it's an easier 3 points, and I think you've got to keep building the scoreboard, because then that puts you within 6 points of Scotland, and you just got to keep ticking over and stay in touch, because we know the game breakers Australia have to be able to break this game open at any stage, and they're going to keep playing to the 80th minute. That's something we're sure of.
So Foley, who has been very, very accurate indeed today, and this probably the most straightforward of his kicks so far. Through it goes, and Foley chips away at the Scottish lead once again. 6 points the difference, and Scotland are making a change, and the man winning his 100th cap today is coming off. Ross Ford coming off, and Fraser Brown comes on for Ross Ford. As so many in this Scotland side can be today, pleased with his work, I'm sure. Chasing down Chris Patterson at the top of Scotland's most cap list.
A great ovation for Ross Ford there. Fantastic to see. He really deserves that, and he will go on to make many, many more.
You hope 8 more.
I might have to take the boots out again.
No chance. The restart gathered safely by Australia again, but for some depth now Foley has to clear. That's a very, very useful kick indeed. It's Scotland's line out, but it's just inside their own half. So what a crucial player he's become to Australia, Foley. We've got Craig Cooper waiting on the bench. Cooper's covering a multitude of positions today with that 6-2 split.
And you can see where Foley defends as well. It's unusual to see the 10, the first receiver defending in that 5 metre channel, but
Okay, let's go. We're fine.
you can see him in there. They want to protect him because he's so valuable to how Australia play and how he pulls his strings. He's comfortable when he's up flat. And you see Johnny Bay getting a bit of treatment as well. And there's 101. There's one for Aldell who did really well in his first cap, and 100 for Ross Ford. He's such a quiet, unassuming guy, but a fierce competitor and a delighted, couldn't have done nicer ball.
One thing that Ross Ford brings as well is he's sort of the modern breed of hooker who is as big and strong as a prop. They don't really hook, they're there to do a sort of front rower's work.
And he started as a back row player, all his age grades right up until, you know, he senior rugby. He was a 6, he was a blind side, and he made that transition to the front row.
So Brown is replacement, and it comes eventually to Hardy. And Laidlaw lays it back. Barkley into play scrum half. Oh no, somebody's taken it away from him. Gordon Reid, and then a penalty to Australia.
Let it away, walk away. Walk away. Number 1, thank you.
Let's just listen in.
He's bound to the rock, he can't reach back and get the ball, okay?
So an error of judgment from Gordon Reid, which might be costly for Scotland. I'm surprised everyone, not least John Barkley there.
Let him go. Have the penalty? Yeah.
Because he was bound in the ruck, he can't reach back and take the ball.
That's exactly right. You can't be in front of the last man of the breakdown and reach back and pick up the ball. That's a new edict that's come in the last couple of years from World Rugby.
So Australia suddenly in a promising attacking position again. The lineup just comes back to them. And now they'll try and get a bit of a maul going. Sideways and down. So Genya gives it wide. And Falau has been so busy coming into the line. Carried in there by Dean Munn. And dangerous times again for Scotland, right on the edge of the 22. There's Pocock. Hamish Watson trying to hold him up. Pocock's been de-scrum capped.
No hands, Dave!
So Genya fires the backline again. Foley gives it a bit deeper to Falau, and Falau just slipping through, tries to get that ball away. Hugh Jones was there, and the ball loose. And
Jones again.
I think Barkley's laying it back. Look, back it comes to Hogg, and Hogg steps around one man just to buy himself a bit more time and then unleash that huge but spiralling through the Edinburgh air. And that is just screams something there, stretching things out, but that's very good clearance from Hogg.
That's an excellent clearance kick, but we'll go back maybe 5 minutes in the game. There's 2 turnovers for Falau. He's trying to force the game. We said before, James, you can understand why he's trying to keep the ball alive, but surely there you should be looking after that.
Yeah, I think the patience that Australia aren't showing in attack is hurting them a little bit. They need to be a lot more patient through especially in that A zone inside that 22.
Long it goes, and it's stolen but then knocked forward by Hardy. Not this time for the flanker. Into the final quarter of the match we head. A 6-point lead for Scotland, but mostly Australia's ball, mostly their territory.
Use it, 9!
Good take by Foley. And a bit of pressure gets the ball away, and who will win the aerial battle? And Hogg waiting for it. Falau says he was obstructed as he was bearing down on it. And Scotland have the ball, but under pressure again. And I think Hardy's down injured for Scotland. So Scotland with 14 men at the moment. Wide it goes, a bit of space for Visser. But Tamani is there, Visser tries to scut his way inside. Hooper takes him down. Hooper sticks a toe in, but still Scotland's ball. Still Hardy down injured. Gordon Reid.
We're going to keep going until the clock stops. Till he goes out the touch or the referee blows his whistle.
To Russell. And Russell thinks he sees a bit of space there, but Foley covering well.
Going.
And you see Hardy still getting treatment. And Australia spin it wide, and Kuridrani attacking with a man advantage. I think Hardy is going to be heading for the edge of the pitch soon. Referee stops it. Penalty to Australia.
Right, we're going to pause it there and end part 3 straight away. Australia out the back, 3 points on the board. Scotland straight back into it with a nice little try. Beautiful forward movement and that. Australia then coming back with a nice little penalty kick again. 6 points the difference. 19 minutes to go now. So everything to play for. Fortunately, Hardy's down at the moment, receiving treatment. Hopefully he can come back into it. But you know, we're gonna watch this last 20 minutes now. Well, 19 minutes in part 4. So you've been watching Ivor Reactions, and I shall catch you in a minute with part 4. Let's get in. Come on, Scotland. You're playing brilliant. Get a nice fucking Southern Hemisphere and win. Right? Get a win over them. Go. Right. Catch you in a bit.